This is the Hanayama Queen puzzle. The point of it is to get this metal coin out of the bottom. We have to try and figure out exactly how to move these pieces in order to remove it. I'm going to show you how to take it apart, but also how this thing works. So let's take a look. Okay, so taking a closer look at first, we have these two cast lines in the middle area. So one's right there and the other one is right there. So those are going to stay horizontal. We're going to grab this end piece, which can actually pop out a little bit. And we're going to find that little skid mark in there, which should be right around the corner. And there it is. So you see a little tiny mark in there. Don't know if you guys can see it, but there is one there, trust me. So then we have these marks here which go horizontal, and then we want to lift and spin this edge into it. And it should be able to click up. And if it doesn't, it just means we got to move it around a little bit until we get one that catches. There we go. Now that those are in the right position, we grab this end piece and we give it a spin. And if it doesn't work, you'll feel a kind of notch right there. That just means it's the wrong way. So what we need to do now is actually take these cast marks and rotate it 180 degrees for that middle piece. And then we want to do the exact same thing. So grab this end piece, rotate it all the way around until that mark is straight up and down, and drop it. Now, if it's not sticking, you just have to rotate this piece a little bit to let gravity do its thing. And I'll explain why in a second, how that works. But then we should be able to rotate this piece. It should pop right off. And if it doesn't, this means we need to wiggle it around a little bit more and get this guy back in there. There we go. Now we should be able to get this last piece off. There we go. And the coin came flying out of there. But I'll show you in this next part exactly how this piece works. So the way this works is that we actually have this peg, and this peg prevents us from putting it back onto the base. So if we put the base on, try to push it on there, hey, it won't let us on. Okay, so how do we get that peg down? Well, we need to rotate this guy around, the end piece on my left hand, until that peg piece falls in. So let gravity do its thing. Hold that piece straight up and down until you can see it wiggling until we have it in the right spot. At that point, it should fall right in, which should be right here. There we go. And as we can see, the piece on the left here, that little mark, is straight up and down, and these two cast marks are horizontal. That's how that piece gets back in. Now, obviously, when we put it back together, we're going to put it in and slide it. We're going to turn this piece 180 degrees, and then we're going to try to get this end piece here so it's flat down just by pulling it and pushing it and doing all sorts of fun stuff. That locks it back into place. So you can see why if this is on the bottom, it won't pull out because gravity won't allow it to lift up. So that being said, let's just really quickly get this back to its spot and then get this thing all put back together. So you can see that piece is at the top. We let gravity do its thing by pushing that piece in. Got to put the coin back in there, of course. So then we slide this piece in. It should let us go all the way this time. And now we want to slide this piece 180 degrees just so that we can see that cast mark right there. At that point, we just maneuver that around, and this piece is reassembled. And thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. See ya.